Drinks on John. Get it? I've got coffee because I cannot drink and list at the same time. But if we do reseller meetup, I will drink. Philip will confirm that I drink. Look at that. Oh, that printer is like the rumbles on the highway, making sure we don't lane those. Look, it's a sit stand desk. It's got like a plastic holder for the ream, and everything just rattles. But like when you watch like American videos and they talk about this Rollo printer, this is the Rollo printer, but like the knockoff version, and it's lasted me for 2 years. So I've never had an issue with it, never had any jams, whatever. I think it only costs like $250 for this, and and I can use any generic label. I know a lot of people will go buy the Dymo. The Dymo is like the branded one. Everyone seems to know the Dymo, but I've only ever heard, if ever I hear problems with printers jamming, it ends up always being a Dymo. So if you guys don't have a label printer, want to get a label printer, just type in Rollo printer into Google, and whichever off-brand one you get, just buy that one. Catch of the Day generally has like 5 or 6 anyways. Just pick the cheapest one. Cabled instead of Bluetooth, because I don't trust Bluetooth yet. Bluetooth also consistency. I don't trust that either. So for me, it's cabled, and yeah, gets the job done. Tom saying zebra label printers are better than the rest of them. Yes, but also zebras are very expensive. Of course, Tom has something like how many listings do you have? Like 200,000? That's something like that. 250,000. So if you've got like 6 figures of listings, then yeah, zebra printer, high mileage type stuff. But if you are sitting on a measly 80,000 listings like me, then the Rollo is a good starting point. Especially if so for example, I think I might be wrong, but I remember Zebra being like $500. Am I wrong? Because I remember thinking to myself, I can either afford one Zebra or I can afford 2 Rollos in case one of them fails. Granted, when you buy something, you're like, I need backups from backups just in case something doesn't work. So the fact that I haven't actually had to open the other Rollos because I bought 2 at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's good enough. So, but yeah, from what I've heard, Zebra is like, if you're really dependable, doesn't want to fail, Zebra. Yeah, for sure. Boo! Just as I speak about Paul, the Zebra had kept losing its calibration. I forgot where the end of the label was. Cracked it and went back to my Dymo, even though the rolls are relatively short. So clearly, no product is perfect. But Tom, I know Tom is one who will defend himself. So now I'm going to go back and just scroll down the chat. Can't stand the Dymo issues with non-Dymo labels. And like you mentioned, runs out too quickly. Having a box of 4,000 labels feeding through the back of a Zebra is a dream come true. Of course, 4,000 labels is something that somebody with 200,000 listings would, go, yeah, day in the life. Hi, Jonas, what's up? I use an Osprint, which looks similar to a Rollo, great Aussie product with excellent. I think the one I have is the Beeper, which essentially is the Osprint. So yeah, you're right. Super dependable. You'd think Dyno would be greatly regretting the decision to allow Dymo only labels by now. It's so dumb. People who do proprietary English, not my first language, proprietary things for proprietary sake. So dumb. So dumb. Can you imagine someone said, hey, to sell on eBay, you need an eBay certified laptop? How pissy would that be? I love the fact that we all can run our eBay businesses with literally whatever tech we've got, and then we can upgrade it gradually. Like, we should never take that for granted. I was thinking about how when you buy into a franchise, forget about the fact that you're paying to start a franchise, you're paying to buy into a franchise, you're paying from the start, as opposed to like eBay where you pay as you go. They also insist that you must use whatever they recommend that you use, otherwise you can't run the business the same way because everything's all stock standard, right? So just take a moment to appreciate the fact that eBay, for people who complain about compliance on eBay and stuff, it's the compliance level is so low for starting a business from the ground compared to so many other options out there. Yeah, just food for thought. For those of us who are feeling a bit ungrateful today, that always sets me straight. That reality, the fact that it's the level of compliance is actually relatively low to get started. Yeah, 600-ish. There we go. So zebras are definitely a level up. Gotta sell a few more things before I can buy one. It's relatively cheap. Like for about I think it's $250, you get the printer. And one, I think one roll is like 1,000 labels or more. I think it's 1,000. The ones I have are 1,000. Completely random question regarding printers. Wow, this is a loaded chat. Far out. I'm not even. Am I near the bottom already? All right, close-ish. I didn't realize and have been buying my labels through Office Works all this time. Yeah, so there are many suppliers you can go to that are packaging suppliers. So I get my labels and my bubble wrap through Awesome Pack, more so because I wanted the bubble wrap that's like 1.5 meters tall. So like when my rolls come, I think they're 1.5 meters tall, 75 meters worth of roll. It's like I hug it. It's about that big, and it's about 1.5 meters high. And that way I can just stack it single stack instead of having them like, because the wind used to come through the side of the house where they get stored and they just roll over and tumble everywhere. And so just having those big rolls mean that I can like cut really, really long. Like sometimes I want really long sheets, and so that lets me do that. Yeah. Okay, before we get back there, uh, I th- I think when you look at so clearly reliability is something that is valuable. You're right. If you've got a business to if you've got a business that allows you time to fix little problems here and there, then sure, you buy the cheap thing. You'll be bothered with a jam. Once again, Tom blocks buyers pretty automatically because it takes time to deal with crappy buyers, and you don't want them to repeat and take more time out of your day. I tend to block non-payers quite easily as well. And of course, some people would say things like, "Oh, you're losing out the chance to make a sale." But here's the thing: the bigger you get, the more you realize that your market is huge. I think that's it. Most people come to reselling, they're a bit like, "Oh, am I going to make a sale?" They make a sale, then you go, "Oh, am I lucky to make 2 sales?" "Oh, well, I make a third, then make a third, a fourth," and they forget to they forget to adjust their approach. And then eventually you get to a size so big where you're still trying to like please every customer. There comes a point when you have to go, "All right, I can't please everybody, but I know that I'm already pleasing a lot of people. I'm going to just keep servicing them." And at that point, paying $600 for a printer makes absolute sense, because then you're trying to feed as many labels through as possible without it breaking, without it fluffing around. You don't have to call servicing in. You don't have to replace parts. You don't want to have to oil the thing. It's just like the sound of money printing. I think that's it. So for $600, and if it does that consistently, that's pretty much it. Clearly, as with all things expensive, they are not always the simplest to use as well. So as Paul mentioned, as well with the whole like calibration thing, that can be a pain in the ass as well. So yeah, but what it is you don't want things to heat up, things to just stop work. The worst thing, right, with things that, can you imagine? You print 10 on a small, like on like a roller. You print 10 labels. If let's say one of them doesn't print properly, you kind of track and go, "Yep, it's label number 8." Go back to the thing, open the PDF again, just print page 8. But if you're printing on like 500 labels and you're going, "Oh, which one didn't print properly?" Essentially, you have to print the whole thing all over again. That's pretty annoying. So yeah. 100% if I was selling as much as Tom. When? Not if, when. When. We're about the when, not the if. Well, I think we should call it a night. Thanks everybody for participating. See you all on Thursday.